Hi there and welcome to another portion of infotainment. This video counts towards your 5 a day. Steve Irwin has you pinned down in a headlock. What cool facts does he tell the audience about you and your habitat? Oi, be very careful mates. We have to show dominance. If we show any affection towards this creature, he'll get attached to us and never leave us alone. Truly one of the most terrifying beasts in North America. When I was a kid, my parents were about to get divorced, so I spent my time hiding. One day, I was so desperate for some human contact that I sat in a busy place on the playground and looked sad, hoping someone would ask if I was okay. I did something similar that I can't even bring myself to fully explain. I don't think I really recognized how lonely I was. This little fella looks upset, but he actually craves physical contact. Hess a little sad right now, why don't you pet him, give him a little rub. Red rocket. Okay, that made me chuckle. Oi, this air is a common member of his species, and as you can see he's got a fairly advanced case of fur loss, especially concentrated air at the top of his head. Many males you find in the wild with this condition will try to compensate by growing the fur around their faces, and this fella is no different. This one looks like he spends his days being poked and nipped at by his wee ones. Note the characteristic paunchy belly and the general lack of muscle tone. This fella can spend up to 12 hours a day grazing, and trying to find a nice spot to curl up for some shut-eye, but I'm leaving it. The first half of this hits too close to home. Crikey. This lil ronga is quite the sneaky little one. This particular type of animal can hide in a dark room all day and never even see the sunshine. She will do as much as she can to avoid others of her kind. Man, are all gingers the same? Cuz. Same. It's the soul that makes the sun feel good, so probably. Oi, now looky here. Notice how he seems almost entirely apathetic to my attack. That's because he spends almost every waking moment pretending not to be bothered by the current situation he is in, despite the fact that he is incredibly irritated. To him, this is just another Monday morning staff meeting. He is truly a gorgeous example of mental endurance. That's the spirit. How the foo EFF did I get 2.5k upvotes for this lame comment? It was sincere but still. Oh, he's angry. Calm down big fella. Ain't gon' hurt ya. Yeah, there we go. See, he likes when I give his noggin scritches like this. Yeah, these guys like to get all big and blustery, especially in front of a keyboard. They'll be real mean to each other, but they're good folk though. Just gotta let them know you care about them. Everyone acting like Steve ever said something bad about the animals. That's not a thing. Hagrid is the fictional version of Steve Irwin. I don't care, he calls me a beaut and I really needed to hear it. You're a beaut, mate. No, you're a beaut. You're all beauts. Crikey. This animal lives in a dilapidated bachelor pad and is capable of eating his weight. An audible gasp from the audience. Audible gasp from the dilapidated bachelor pad. Audible gasp from his weight in pudding. Now I know what you're thinking, this here fella looks like an absolute killer. He's big, he's covered in hair, and if he wanted to, he could probably knock ma block off with one swing. The truth is, his kind look far more scary than they really are. Despite their size, they're actually quite timid, and will only attack when threatened and backed into a corner. Truth is, he just wants to find a Sheila he can settle down with and, who knows, maybe have a couple of kids. Sadly, this fella hasn't had much luck lately. He's the last of his line, and it would be crying shame if he never got a family of his own. Puts PS2 controller in my hands. Luckily, here at Australia Zoo, we have a state-of-the-art gaming room, where this fella can play the video games of his youth, and relive his days as a juvenile, when life seems so full of possibilities. Isn't he a beauty? You're alright, fella. You're alright. This guy is out looking for a Sheila, but he isn't having much luck. He's coming in late to the party. I laughed way harder at that last bit than I probably should have. At least you aren't the one thinking it might not be so bad to be pinned down by Steve Irwin. He's getting quite angry when he's getting poked with a stick. Pokes me with a stick. Dude, F off. Nas Thai fella. Awesome question. This unusually large example of his species is known to consume enormous quantities of cheese in one sitting. He is a very stealthy creature, with the ability to sit in one spot at an introduction of a mate and offspring into the nest. Do you just like grab a cheese block and chow down? Do you not? This one right here, Can put up a fight if you put a bowl Cheetos within the area. Good thing is that this bloke is actually calm because he ate a full bowl of Cheetos. I find it easiest to subdue one of these little fellas by withholding a local treat, Mount Dew, till it settles down and plays nice. I don't have an answer to this, but congrats. This is probably the best question ever asked on Reddit. This whole thread has made me laugh again and again. This lad drinks too much. Steve, as ye can see, this poor fella's diet consists mostly of Jack Daniels, which makes him relatively harmless in the wild. Poke you / Jacks again with a stick. The sad creature tries to fight back with a wave of the arms, then gives up. This makes the boy relatively armless, so if you see him in the wild, don't be scared, just wave your arms about to confuse him like this. The sudden arm waving causes Jax again to vomit and roll over, defeated. This bloke is in a completely relaxed state. Not a care in the world. Aw crikey. The female is home and he forgot to pick up the groceries. He's in for it now. Steve and the camera crew quickly scamper to a corner, in a legs out arms out wide stance. Steve, looks like these two are about to have a bit of a tumble. Might want to give them some space. Mrs. U/30 Helen's agree begins hissing madly, teeth bared as she claws at his face. Mr. Thirsty Helen bounce hobbles a few meters away, head low. Nah, look at the size of that Sheila. If you see her in the wild, it's best to give the girl plenty of space, as she can rip you to shreds. Mr. 30 Helen rolls onto his back, submissively. You see it's air that the female primarily brings the food back to her dependent cubs and mate. With claws like that you really don't want to get on the wrong side of her, that's for sure. This little bugger simulates reproduction up to 5 times a day. Almost exclusively without a mate. Then I imagine he would shove a Dorito in my mouth, and chuck me back into my bedroom. Steve, in a barely audible whisper as he gets low to the ground, the U/squeeness is an endangered fella, meaning there aren't many of 'em left, and he most likely won't find a mate. Nah, if you watch air, he's trying to attract a Sheila. 5 minutes of silence as Squeeness stares at his screen, before typing sub to the OnlyFans girl he's subbed to. Followed by more dead silence. Better luck next time, little fella. If you see one of these in the wild, it's crucial you give them the space they need, as many of them can be highly poisonous. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.